Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about sticky headers in Bricks Builder. Often a sticky point for new users, and even some experienced users can have difficulty with this. So there are some native settings in Bricks which help us to create sticky headers, but they need some understanding and they're not perfect. Sometimes it doesn't quite meet the requirement, which I'm going to show you. So then I'm going to show you a way to change that so that it works for you. I probably need to show you visually because it's hard to explain, but I'm going to use my plugin, which is a BRXProd or BRXProd. It is a productivity suite for Bricks which makes a whole lot of things just a lot easier. You can get the free version of that, and a lot of what we're going to show you here is in the free version. The CSS editing part is not, so you'd have to do that manually yourself, but I'll show you exactly how that works and how it makes it easier to manage these things. So I'm Alan from BRXProd and WP Easy, and I'm going to get started with this now. So on the screen we have a very simple page here. We've got a Bricks wireframes heading or header, and we've got a Bricks wireframes hero in there, which we've just styled up with a background image and some colors. So that is a very simple setup and typically your starting point. Now as we scroll, the header scrolls away with the page, which is not what we want. We want a sticky header. So we go into our header settings and go into the settings for our header, go into our template settings, go to the header, and we're going to turn on our sticky header and hit the save button. I'm just going to refresh this page here. And what we see is we have a sticky header. But our sticky header, actually I've got a setting in there which I'm going to take off. That was from testing. Refresh. This is just a typical sticky header, and you see a problem straight away where it's sitting up over your content now. So we can see from this word tagline behind this transparency here, you can see that's still got the same padding it had before from the top there, but it's moved up behind the header. And the reason for that is when you set it to sticky, it sets position fixed on this whole header block, which puts it at the top, takes it out of the box model, and our section, at the top of our section, moves up to the top of the viewport. So we've got a problem there. Now the simple way to solve this is to hit sticky on scroll and don't put any value in there. And then we hit save, and then we hit the refresh, and we can see we've solved the problem. Sort of. Now if we scroll, we can see our first section is disappearing up behind. We can see the line here from our section, and it just stays there indefinitely until we finish scrolling and scroll back. But what you're seeing here is that it is a position of sticky until you scroll, and then it goes to a position of fixed. Now I'm going to show you that happening as well. So let's then say we want this to start scrolling after 100 pixels. We want it to scroll up. So we want to scroll up there. Hit the save, refresh the page there, and scroll, and it's disappeared after we've scrolled up 100 pixels. Now the reason for that is because it is now set it to a position of fixed, and then it's used some JavaScript to move it out of the way. Now there's a couple of problems with it. One is you might actually want to see some of this background here from the section through there, and when we come back into view, you can see like the black area of the background, and then the header comes sliding back down onto that. So there's a little bit of not FOUC, but we're seeing the background because this is actually sitting in the DOM. This is sitting on top of our section in the box model, which we may not want. So this is the part we need to do it manually. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to turn off our sticky on scroll. I'm going to leave out our slide up after and hit the save. Refresh this. Now it's there, and we still get our scroll away because we've got told it to slide up after 100 pixels, and that's kind of working. But what we now need to do is we need to allow for this header height in our padding and add it to the padding that we already have. So if we look at the DOM, I'm just going to bring up my Chrome DevTools and have a look at the section. We can see there in the green, if we roll our mouse over the section, we've got our standard padding at the top there for a section. Then we've got our header sitting on top of it. We need to allow for the space taken up by the header plus the additional padding to allow it to go back to where it was in the first place. Now, that's where you need to know what you're doing. If you've got BRXProd, you can solve this really simply. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to know what is our actual header height at any particular moment. So if we look at the header, I'm going to bring up my device toolbar here. We're watching the height of the header, so we've got 112. I'm looking over the right hand side here, 112. As we scroll bigger, see that's got bigger now. It's 130. 130, it's stuck at 130 because of the responsiveness. We come down here, let it recalculate, we're at 98. So the header height is changing as our device width changes, and that's because we're using responsive variables, so responsive CSS variables, so that things shrink and grow depending on our viewport. So we need to know at any point in time what is that header height. So to solve that, we use a script, use JavaScript. Now I've got Fluent snippets installed. Use your code manager, use your child theme, whatever you want. I think this is the easiest way to do this kind of thing. So we've got Fluent snippets installed. In BRXProd, we've got a shortcut which brings that up in an iframe. So first of all, we're going to go into our productivity settings. We're going to start looking for header. There's our header. This is a free code snippet. So this is stuff that you install. You get this on the free version of BRXProd, and we're going to install that by hitting create snippet. We can do that because we've got Fluent. If you don't have Fluent, you've got to copy the code to the clipboard, paste it into your own code manager. So I'm just going to create snippet, close that, open up Fluent. Now I'm going to have to go to a different tab and come back so I can see it. There it is there, my header and footer heights to CSS variables. I'm going to activate that. Save that, go back to here and refresh. And what we're going to see now on our HTML tag, we're going to see this style attribute being set here. And it's got a BRXP for BRXProd with our header height, which is a calculated JavaScript calculated header height. We also calculate the footer height, and we also calculate what viewport height we have here, so that we can use that for positioning stuff inside, in between our header and footer. We're just going to look at the header today, and we can see what the current value of that is. So the current header height calculated is 130 pixels. If we go to a different viewport width, it's going to recalculate, and now it's 118 pixels there. It's delayed because I've got the Chrome DevTools open. It does it very quickly. For whatever reason, I'm not sure if this happens to everyone, when I've got Chrome DevTools open, it slows down all of my JavaScript. So that is what we need. Okay, so how do we use that? So the first thing we need to do is go back into our header template. We're going to go to the header. We've got this BRXW header 1, where all we've got on here at the moment is our padding block to our space to XL. That's using the Bricks wireframes variables. You can, if you're using your own framework, put your own in there. And we're using this primary D8, which is a BRXProd variable, which we add in there. And we're setting it to 80% transparency, 80% opacity, so we can see a little bit through there. Okay, I might even change that to say 70, so you can see a little bit more, so you can see what's going on. Okay. All right, so this is where we're going to use what we're calling CSS patterns. Some people call them recipes. I've called them patterns because they're completely configurable. It can be a single line of code, a single value, or a complete rule, or a complete set of rules. So it's not just a single rule. So I've decided not to call it recipes. I've called it snippets. So if you go in there, it's a CSS pattern. Sorry, not a snippet. So to enact our CSS patterns, we're going to go pipe, and then start typing, and we want sticky header, ST, we can see it type ahead, just press the tab key, and that's going to put that in there for us. If you want to edit these, you're just going to CSS patterns there. There's our sticky header. You can edit that, you can add your own, create your own, all that sort of stuff. Now this here is in the paid version, so if you're going to do this yourself without the paid version, you need to create this code here yourself and use your own framework variables. So what we're doing is we're saying that when our Bricks header has the Bricks sticky class, we're going to get a sibling. So that's our sibling selector. That is the Bricks content wrapper, which is the main. If we have a look in here, we have the, where are we? The main. So it's our Bricks content. And inside our Bricks content, we have our first section there. So we're going to say get the section first. So it has a direct child of a section, which is the first child. And we're going to apply this rule to it. So we're going to get our standard spacing plus the calculated header height, which we put in at 130 pixels. You would change that as well. So if your header is different, when you go into there at desktop view, you find out what that value is there and you change that to whatever your value is. Hit the save on that. Refresh over here. Okay, now look at that. How beautiful. We have our padding at the top, which is accounting for our header height. If we look at the actual DOM, we look at the preview there, we can see all that green there, which is the extra header height, using padding, calculating the header height, and then adding in our padding block. So let's check that through the viewport as we change, and we can see that as that changes, we keep our same structure. So the padding at the top that we can see between our section and our header, the padding we can see up here looks the same. Sorry, this is still on. Looks the same as the padding we've got at the bottom because it's calculated for you. And we've got this, our image up behind the header. There's no line. There's no no background as we're coming back in. It just looks right, and that is my preference is to have it this way when we want to see our image through the background through our header. So that's it. That is all I'm going to say. I might actually copy and paste the code into the no, you guys go and grab BRXProd and you can grab it from there. So just head over to BRXProd.com. If you want to just do the free license, grab the free license. You're going to get everything that I used here in the free license except for this CSS panel here and those CSS pattern type of heads, but you can still get the code. You can still get the JavaScript. You can still get this code from in here. So if you go into there and go to your settings and go into your CSS type of heads, it's in there. You can still get that from there just by editing that. You can copy and paste that into CSS wherever you are. So you, even on the free version, you can do this. The paid version just makes it easier for you to access these things. That is it. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope it has value and it helps you with understanding how and when to use sticky headers. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks, guys.